Individuals wishing to speak on agenda items must complete a sign-up card prior to the item being introduced. Sign-up cards are available on the table. Individuals wishing to speak on non-agenda items may do so under petitions and requests. No sign-up card is required. Citizens will be given 3 minutes to speak on all agenda items. All sign-up cards and exhibits being submitted to the CRA shall be placed in the box on the table.
The purpose of the City Council meeting is to discuss city business, and proper decorum must be displayed by all in attendance. Public input and participation is encouraged. However, all persons in attendance shall comply with the rules for meeting procedures and shall refrain from any action that disrupts the orderly proceedings of the council meeting or hinders a council from performing its duties. No person shall interfere with the rights of others to speak, hear, see, or attend the proceedings, make threats of violence, disrupt the proceedings with shouting, fail to confine remarks to the agenda item under consideration, nor continue to speak after the allotted speaking time has expired, as these actions shall be considered disruptive and disorderly. The mayor shall caution any person who violates these provisions and disrupts the orderly proceedings of the council meetings, and they shall be directed to comply. Any person who fails to comply, as cautioned, shall be ruled out of order, shall forfeit the remainder of their speaking time on the agenda item under consideration, and will be requested to return to their seat. Persons who fail to comply as directed shall be subject to removal from the council chambers by law enforcement or such other actions as may be reasonably necessary to enforce these regulations. Notwithstanding, the mayor may order the immediate removal of any person from the chambers who possesses a threat to property or life safety. Nothing in this section shall be construed to limit or restrict a person's right created by the Constitution, law, ordinance, or regulation.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the City of Titusville Community Redevelopment Agency regularly scheduled meeting, February 10th, 2026 at 5:30. I'm going to call this meeting to order. City Attorney, do we have a quorum?
Yes.
Thank you very much. In lieu of an invocation, we will hold a moment of silence, please. Thank you very much. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Executive Director.
Yes, sir, we have one set of minutes to approve.
Thank you very much. Member Nelson.
Move to approve the minutes of the CRA, January 13th, 2026.
Second.
I have a motion by Member Nelson. I have a second by Vice Chair Cole. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Executive Director.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, and members of the board. We have a relatively light agenda on the CRA board this evening. The first item is special recognitions and presentations. 6A, it's crime prevention through environmental design, and our code enforcement personnel will give a presentation on these types of actions, and no action is requested.
I think you're both familiar with our code officers. They are May Wright and Megan Laurentio. They have been the brainchilds of all of the cool things that you've seen going on, the activity in the CRA and in our parks.
Good evening, Chair and Vice Chair and Board.
Can you step forward just a little bit?
Sure. Sorry, I'm a little soft-spoken. There we go. So my name's Megan. This is May. We attended the Florida Attorney General's Florida Crime Prevention Training Institute in 2021 and 2024. And during those trainings, we were able to get our CEPTED practitioner designation and our crime prevention practitioner designation. So today we're going to go over a little bit about what CEPTED is, how we use it at the city, and how it is a real benefit to the community.
So again, CEPTED is crime prevention through environmental design. And what that means is the proper design and effective use of the built environment that reduces the perception or fear of crime, incidence of crime, and improves the quality of life.
All right, so as CEPTED practitioners, the question we often ask ourselves is, how does the physical environment make us feel safe or make us feel fearful of crime? And I'm going to give you a couple examples of bad subted and good subted. So in this example, we kind of have a lot of bad things that are going on. There's a light island, there's inadequate lighting, there's an ambush zone underneath the stairway, and there's a concealment area next to the stairway. There's also a lack of general maintenance. So this would make any user feel kind of uncomfortable and unsafe. And in this example, we have several good examples of CityofTitusville incorporated principles. We have fencing that allows for natural surveillance so people could see in, they could see out. We have transition zones, which kind of identify public, semi-public, and private spaces. We have territorial reinforcement, which is just showing pride of place. We have adequate lighting and natural surveillance. People probably feel that they're being watched and that they can see who's looking at them in this space.
So again, the goals of CityofTitusville are to decrease the opportunities for crime, enhance quality of life, mitigate risk, and reduce potential losses on the property. And we do that with the 5 main goals of CityofTitusville. The first is natural surveillance. That's the basic, can I be seen? The placement of physical features, lighting, just max visibility for individuals using a space. And then you've got territorial reinforcement. Do I know who owns the space I'm entering into? And that can be a show of ownership by uniform landscaping, signage, usement of pavement or other decoratorial features to tie the development together. You've got natural access control. How do people move through a space? So are people walking into a space? Are they driving into it? When they park, do they know where they're going? Do they know where to walk? Where the front of the building is? When they get in a building, do they know where they go inside the building? And then you've got social management, is encouraging the correct use of a space. And how do we generate those positive activities to engage those spaces? And then 5th is maintenance, and that's just the general care of our sites.
All right, so there is information on our website related to some of the services that we offer. I'm only going to go over 2 of them today. We offer residential security surveys, which are intended for residential properties, and it's basically like classic target hardening. We go in, we determine what is already in place as far as security is concerned, and then we give recommendations of what could be improved, and we write a letter and provide that to the homeowner. A CityofTitusville site survey is a lot more holistic approach, so we really look at where the property is, what the demographics of the area are, essentially a big picture view of the entire property and the site, and then we go through advantages, challenges, and we give recommendations. We do a daytime survey, a nighttime survey, and we provide a lighting survey with recommendations on what should be maintained and if there are any lights that aren't working. Sorry. All right, and we have created a story map which pretty much goes over everything that we went over today in a little bit of a more interactive format. So if you scan the QR code, you're able to review the story map. You can report properties that may need a CityofTitusville assessment or that you feel may be unsafe within the city, and then we'll reach out to the property owners and see if they're interested. And it has all of our contact information as well as the same services, forms, and links to the same services I mentioned in the previous slide.
So one thing we also offer is we do a basic CityofTitusville training. We go in a longer presentation than we're doing here, and we also have a group activity, so individuals that take the class can kind of apply it to a hypothetical site survey and kind of implement some of the goals of CityofTitusville. And we're just going to highlight, so under social management, we are doing positive activity generators, and we're trying to bring people into our parks here in the CRA. So we've got our moon party coming up at the end of February. It's Saturday, the 28th. We are going to have telescopes there. We're going to have several different groups there with handouts and activities. And then we also have at Blanton Park on March 14th, we're doing a pop-up in the park. We are doing free helmet giveaway and fittings. We are going to have a static display of some of our vehicles from the police department, and we're going to do it right there at the Blanton Park. So thank you for your time today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll take any questions now.
First, I want to say thank you on behalf of not only the CRA board, but city council for all you guys do to make our community safer. I know you guys take a very proactive approach into making our community a great place. I did have a question about, I know you guys did a pop-up at the park at Wusthof. Was that well attended? How'd that go?
How many? So I think we did 9 helmet fittings, but there were I feel like there were a lot of families, a lot of people passing through. We were there for 2 hours, so we probably had maybe 20, 25 people.
Okay, I was just curious. I wasn't able to make that event, but I wanted to know how it went. I think, Blanton, you'll probably see even more than at Wusthof, so that'll be good. And then how many businesses or homeowners have you guys done the CEPTED analysis with?
So primarily, we've been working a lot with the city. We're working on a big project with Parks and Rec right now. So we're those have been our primary focuses, but we have a meeting tomorrow for a property. I would say that we've probably done every year a handful, but I think people are just starting to learn about it. I don't think they understood that we were providing this as a complimentary service. And I think that's important for me to mention. It's complimentary and it's confidential.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And, hopefully we can help get the word out there so more people use your services. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Executive Director?
Yes, sir. We have no old business. Under 8A, new business, the installation of an International Space Station commemorative pylon at Spaceview Park. And the action is to approve the request by the American Space Museum to plan and install an additional commemorative pylon recognizing the ISS contributors at Spaceview Park. And Sue Williams is here to give some details on that project.
Good evening. Gabriel was not able to be here. He is the executive director of the American Space Museum. This is basically a continuance. We all see the pylons right at Spaceview Park. It's getting a lot more activity because we are sprucing it up and using it, which the solar lights are coming next for Gemini Park. So that should be soon. But so this is just a natural progression. And American Space Museum called and said, they just wanted to ask permission to go ahead. They're starting to fundraise. So there is no monetary to the CRA on this. This is totally funded by the American Space Museum fundraising. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Is there any future maintenance associated with this item?
I was talking with the Parks and Rec Department of the county, and not really. The maintenance of these are very, very little.
All right. I don't see any further. City Clerk?
There's one card, Stan Johnston.
Thank you. Member Nelson?
In that case, I'd move to approve the installation of the commemorative pylon at Spaceview Park.
Second.
I have a motion by Member Nelson, a second by Vice Chair Cole. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Executive Director?
Sir, next item is item 9, petitions.
All right. We are on the last item for the CRA meeting, the 5:30 meeting, which is petitions and requests from the public, non-agenda items for the CRA board. Again, City Council is at 6:30. This is the CRA board. Any petitions and requests? I see Mr. Johnson. I'm assuming you're coming up here, right?
I'm
might be the only one. So, the city, my name is Stan Johnson, and I'm involved with a number of criticisms that the city is doing, big time. And so I want to enumerate a few of these violations of law by the city, and they're very serious. They cost lots of money. And as a professional engineer, I challenge you to get a professional engineer to dispute my findings of city's negligence, dishonesty, fraud, false reports. So I'll do it in a form of a prayer. Lord, I pray for the council. I pray for wisdom and also for the CRA, of course. And I pray that justice will be done and truth will be done. In this case, I've asked a number of questions of city council. What is the purpose of the large culverts on 995? No response. I've asked the question, why are almost all canals and ditches that drain stormwater from Titusville to the St. Johns River not been maintained for over 50 years? And I asked the question, what is the purpose of numerous dams throughout our city? I also asked the final question I ask you is how in the world the city of Titusville continues, the council continues, regardless of what this TEC says, what my other professionals are. There's about 40,000 professional engineers that I'm having, that you're disputing, and that is spraying people with piss and poop. When we have a sewage spill and leaving the fountains turned on. So this is horrible for the health of our individuals here in the city. And I just pray that you will wake up. And I know that Ms. Moscoso is for turning them off, but the rest of you have not made that decision. That especially Mrs. Nelson, who swears that it's okay, but according to FDEP, but it's not okay. So Lord, I just pray. I pray that our people will be protected from the neglect and dishonesty of our city council. And I have this, amen, and I have this right here that I think I'm going to require to be sit down. Is that right? Okay, I have to sit down. So I have these. This is what a showing at I-95 and so forth. So I'll sit down because I'm supposed to. That's the end. 7 seconds left.
Appreciate it. All right. Petitions and requests from the public, non-agenda items for the CRA. If seeing none, we'll adjourn to our regular city council meeting at 6:30. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We're adjourned. See you guys at 6:30.